I'm in a town in the northeast of England that, legend has it, is still at war with Russia. Right then, how we doing? It's been a while since my last video, and that's just because I've been rammed. My friend who lives in South Korea came home in January for the month, so when I've not been working, I've been going out with him, like just catching up, because he comes home every 2 years. So when he comes home, we get 2 years worth of nights out and stuff in, so I've just not had a minute to myself, so that's why I've not really been here. Plus my bands have been ramping up and we've got loads of gigs booked, but we'll come to that later. So I'm in a town, as I'd said earlier on, and you'll have seen in the title of this video, that according to local legend are still at war with Russia, and that town is Berwick upon Tweed. So, like, I'm not going to bore you with a history lesson here, but in a nutshell, Berwick upon Tweed's been passed around between England and Scotland throughout the years. It's currently classed as England, but over the years it's been part of Scotland and it's been battered backwards and forwards. And back in the 1850s, 1854, Britain declared war with Russia, but the actual declaration of war said Britain, Ireland and Berwick upon Tweed. And then when war had finished, when it was all signed off as finished, it just said Britain and Ireland. So officially, Berwick upon Tweed have been at war with Russia ever since 1854. Of course it's a load of rubbish, but it makes for a good story anyway, doesn't it? So this is Berwick, where I used to work back in, well, just under 20 years ago, when I worked for a company called Granger Games. They opened a branch up in Berwick, and they asked me, as a experienced staff member, if I would come up here every day and help, like, train the staff. And I've been up here today because one of the lads' football teams were away at Berwick, and I thought, you know what it is, I'm going to do a video, and it's a different place, because that's one of the other issues I've had with my videos, is I'm just running out of places to drive through, so I need to think of other things to make videos of. But anyway, Granger Games was on the right here, where GMB Tech is. That was Granger Games, I think. Oh, that one, the one next door. So this is the main, is it Mary Gate this is called? So I thought I'd just have a little drive around the town of Berwick. Right, I could have gone down there, but I chose not to. So yeah, Berwick is officially the most northeastern town in England, and to be honest, I couldn't tell you exactly where the border is. I know if you drive up the A1 just out of Berwick, there is a point where it crosses into Scotland. But when I lived here, like, everyone's got their own views of where the border is. Some people say the border is like one half of Berwick, so half of it's in Scotland and half of it's in England. But I'm not going to tell you. Like, I don't want to be accused of lying, so that's just what I was told. So it's now February, the back end of February, and I think the last video was just before New Year. I'll do it left here. My last video was just before New Year, and I was telling you about I was going to be doing a gig at the 3 sails. I did that and it went down really well. So I'm looking to do more acoustic gigs. And me other band, the ZX80s, we've got our first gig next Saturday, so I'm really looking forward to that, getting out again with the boys. So we're playing at Hebburn Sports Club. So if you're local to Hebburn Sports Club and you fancy coming to watch me and my 2 mates do some 80s covers, get yourself along. See what you think. So commentary wise today, there's not going to be much sort of local information because there's not actually being from Berwick. There's not really much I can talk about. Oh, that's a really old bridge. I can't remember if this was the route I used to take in and out of Berwick. Might have been actually. I think I recognise that little retail park on the right, which is just out of shot. Scremiston. I remember there was a lass lived in Scremiston. She used to come into the shop. She was friends with one of the lads who worked there, and she worked in a bookies. And I went in and I asked her on a date. I said, "Do you fancy meeting us for a drink?" In fact, I'll tell you the story because it's really cheesy. There was a chat up line, and I walked in, and I got a betting slip, and I wrote on the betting slip, "Me and you go for a drink tonight, okay?" And then I went up there and I said, "What's the odds on that, please?" And I'm sorry, that's very shameful. But she said, "Aye, I'll come for a drink with you." Went for a drink, had a laugh. I mean, it was only like a Coke because I was driving. But we're out for about an hour and a half or something. And then I dropped her off home, and as I was dropping her off, she said, "Just so you know, I do have a boyfriend, so we can't like go any further with this." I'm like, "All right, fine." So there you go, a tale of rejection. But it's one of those moments that happened to make where I am today possible. So there's always a bright side, isn't there? Silver linings and all that. Any road. Berwick Academy on the left. I'm sure I've played, well, one of my teams has played there on that 3G pitch last season. The issue I've got here is I don't have my sat-nav on, so with us being in a town, I only know the town centre and how to get in and out of it. So there's a very good chance I'm going to get lost. But never mind, it's part of the enjoyment, isn't it? Oh yeah. It's a nice part of the world, like if you fancy a day out and you're not too far away, then Berwick's a nice town to investigate. It's got some good history. They've got, well, when I was working up here, there was a little museum, and they had like, I think they were called ramparts. I remember there being something called ramparts, which are like old, like I think they were defence structures that were built years and years ago, possibly for the war with Russia. So it's good to have a look at them. And got a caravan park up here. I'm sure this is the road I used to take out of Berwick. So I'm going to end up on the A1. Once I'm on the A1, it's going to be a pretty boring view for you. I move straight on the A1. Well, I'll have a look and see if there's any turn-offs I can take. It's about an hour and 20 minutes to get home. it's not so bad if you're on the excuse me. So it's not so bad if you're on the dual carriageway, but most of the time you'll end up on the single carriageway and getting stuck behind a blinking truck or a tractor or something, which is quite annoying. But it shouldn't be too bad today with it being a Sunday. I'm sorry, I know that's proper wobbling. Oh dear. Right, I'm going to have to secure this for my next video. Right, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to end it there. I'm sorry it's a really short video and there wasn't much action. But I'm just conscious that that's wobbling too much to make it worth viewing. So I'm going to end the video here, and I promise I'll be in touch soon and get some more action, some more driving videos for you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and you can buy us a pint. I'll stick a little clip on at the end of this video so you can see how you can go about doing that. Alright, thanks again, and I shall see you in the next one. Drive safely. Thanks for watching today. If you would like to help support the channel, you can do. You can click the link below to buy me a pint, and that helps towards the cost of fuel, travel expenses, etc., so I can keep on making these videos for you. Anyone that does buy me a pint will get a mention in the next video, so thank you very much again for your support. See you soon.